MEDICHAM paired with Steelix is so broken. I get an easy 5-0 with this team. We got a great lead here too. It's not too bad as long as if they're running Hex, this match, Steelix, takes it, pretty well. I did run into one that ran Bubble and had Bubble Beam, so you do lose to that. We were able to get to the Breaking Swipe, which is big for us. That way, I was thinking maybe it might be a Surf. It ended up being a Shadow Ball, okay. So this matchup does fairly well if they have Hex. And for the rest of the team, we have MEDICHAM, and we have the Mana Buzz in the back, which has been playing so clutch for me these past few days. The opponent ends up switching to their Swampert. And normally with this matchup, what I like to do is I like to bait the Psychic because I'm running the Power Up Punch Psychic. And right when I get to Psychic, because there's just no way they're not going to shield their Shadow Swampert. And boom, just look at that. We take a shield. And the game plan now basically is, I think I'm going to maybe farm down possibly. Or maybe I throw the Power Punch. I don't remember, guys. But I hope you guys enjoy the battles. And if you do, make sure to leave a like. And also hit that subscribe button, guys. They're going to go ahead and actually, looks like they catch the Psychic. So they end up catching the Psychic onto the Jellicent. But we get a shield regardless, so it didn't matter. Now I'm going to go ahead and just let the MEDICHAM go down. All good. It's played its part. And from right here, I think what I'm looking to do is just get a lot of energy on my Mana Buzz, right? And I think they're going to reveal that they might have Ice Beam. So it was like Shadow Ball, Ice Beam. So that's why they ended up throwing the Shadow Ball at my Steelix. And now they're going to go ahead and bring their Nidoqueen. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Steelix because they're going to need to get an Earth Power to take us out of there. And I'm just going to go ahead and debuff this Nidoqueen. Right? Now they've gone to the Earth Power. So they're going to be able to take us out. But now they're energy depleted. And I'm going to be able to easily take out the Nidoqueen. It's Shadow. But I was like, you know what? Let's just get some Air Slashes here. But let's throw before he gets to Poison Fang. But we would have been pretty safe there. And Jellicent comes back. Just doesn't have enough in the tank. Excuse me, to be able to take us out. So next match, we don't have the best lead. But we're going to go ahead and swap out to Mana Buzz. So for the majority of the part, Mana Buzz will go ahead and be the safe swap. Sometimes I'll use Medi. Now, it all kind of depends. So for example, our opponent had a big rough in the lead. I am not going to use my hard counter MEDICHAM. That, because then we're going to go ahead and get hard counter back most likely. So we end up using something a little bit more neutral, which is the Mana Buzz in this case. And as you can see, now they've brought out their counter. Which would be the Azumarill that runs Ice Beam. The great thing about Mana Buzz is because it's so tanky, it's going to be able to almost be able to get, it gets the Azu to the red, right? And we're able to take the Ice Beam like a champ. That first one, we ended up taking it. And I believe right here, I end up investing a shield. I think, yep, I want to invest a shield because Azumarill is at a range where we just can't bring anything else into it just yet. So we're going to go ahead and use Aerial Ace. And more than likely, I've been doing my best to count, and I've been doing incredible. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and throw because I'm thinking this opponent really wants Switch. And they did, right? Now we're at a place, though, where MEDICHAM can come in safely. It doesn't have to worry about no play rough, and we're just able to counter down. So that's exactly what we do. We get 2 counters in there. Now they're going to go ahead and bring in a Steelix. So they're double weak to MEDICHAM. And this is where MEDICHAM is extremely OP, especially when it's running Power Punch. Although it got nerfed, Psychic being weaker, it really hasn't played a big factor. Not that I've seen. MEDICHAM is still as broken as ever. It's very tanky, and honestly, I would say the best fighting Pokemon right now in the Great League meta. And we're going to be able to, I kind of want to bank. I don't want to really take a Breaking Swipe. Shields are down. I didn't feel like taking another Breaking Swipe, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Steelix. And this is going to work out for us because now we're at a place where we can easily get to a Breaking Swipe. And our opponent is going to have to throw like a Bulldoze or something, but I think they actually end up throwing a Body Slam. They throw the Body Slam, and we're going to be able to safely get to another Breaking Swipe. So it's just, Steelix is so broken. MEDICHAM paired with Steelix is insanely broken, and now you can see why, right? You're going to be able to handle those counter Pokemon using counter a lot easier, right? I think they realize they have the bulldozers, and we're just gonna easily counter it down. And we also counter down the Steelix. I didn't even have to throw that last power punch, so that's a good game right there. I think we still got like 2 or 3 more matches here. So anytime you get a Medicham lead, and I've been seeing so many shiny Medichams lately, it's insane. So normally the way I played out, okay, they're going to throw some energy, which is actually good for us here. Their energy dry. I'm going to use the Breaking Swipe. And as soon as you use Breaking Swipe, I then go ahead and switch out to Medicham. That's kind of how I've been playing these matches. That way we can go ahead and safely come in with the Medicham. And they must be double weak to Medicham in the back, or I don't know what's going on there, that they bring in an Umbreon to try to counter our Medicham. And normally, actually, this matchup isn't too bad. If you're running Ice Punch Psychic Medicham, you're gonna have a tougher time against Umbreon. So, but that's exactly why we're running the Power Up Punch. I haven't run into any Trevenant. Altaria is almost non-existent, and it just makes it that much easier to want to be able to use this. So we're gonna go ahead and get another Power Up Punch before they get to another move. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? They are shielding that. They're definitely weak to Medicham in the back, so gonna go ahead and just counter it all the way down. And I'm expecting to have their Medicham come back in, but they bring in a Gfisk. I don't know what's going on there. That's like 3 Mudshots in there. At the time of these battles, I was not counting this energy. Let's see, so that's 4. Yeah, that's definitely not enough for an Earthquake. But I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're looking good. I'll just shield this. I'm gonna shield this. And if they bring back their Medicham, guess what? You know, we're looking good. I did mess up a little bit there. I should have, swapped out to my Mana Buzz there, but it's all good. Our Medicham has enough energy, and it has a Power Punch saved up, I believe. So we're going to be doing so much damage onto the Gfisk when it comes back, so it really doesn't matter too much. And plus, we can farm down with our Mana Buzz, which is what we end up doing here. We take a shot, and we can go ahead and Dark Pulse here, which is going to leave this Gfisk at a range where we can actually pretty much like air slash it down. And once they realize that's what's going to be done, they're like, the heck with that. I think they had like 1 HP left. Our opponent did not want to get taken out there. So on to this next match. You don't see Cresselia too much, but we end up encountering one, which is really good for us. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Breaking Swipe right away. I'm like, if they catch it, all good. We could probably maybe hard counter what they bring in. They actually end up choosing to throw at CMP. Excuse me, guys. So they're going to throw the Grass Knot, which is really going to barely do anything. Cresselia is already not the biggest attacker. We're actually both CMPing here. So this trainer is actually now making some mistakes because I'm showing that I'm just throwing right away, which should be able to kind of allow them to be able to catch if they want, really. And now we're in a place where I'm going to do one more Breaking Swipe. I will do one more Breaking Swipe. And if they don't shield, I'm just going to farm down. And that's what they end up doing. And they end up just like, okay, they're going to bring the Jump Bluff. And what I'm going to choose to do here, I'm actually going to do one Breaking Swipe. And then just bring in my Mana Buzz because it's a Shadow Jump Bluff. And because it has access to Acrobatics, it does a lot more damage. And what's crazy, we end up catching an Energy Ball. And I know this trainer has got to be frustrated. We're going to go ahead and I think we end up, I don't know if that was CMP there. I actually don't think it is. We just didn't hit it, and I didn't necessarily have to shield it. Okay, I guess it was CMP. I didn't necessarily have to shield it, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just use one shield here and see kind of, what the trainer's looking to do. They end up, the Jump Bluff, they end up letting that go, and I think they end up actually bringing in, I remember now, they bring in the Jellicent, and I don't know what's going on. I was actually lagging as well. So I'm like thinking maybe this trainer's lagging, right? Or maybe because we farmed down, because the last Pokemon in the back, they're weak to Mana Buzz. So honestly, he might have just gone ahead and Rage Quit. I'm kind of thinking maybe that's actually what ended up happening. I'll go ahead and just kind of like start farming him down. So just kind of bear with it a little bit. We're going to go ahead and kind of take out the Jellicent. Now, I would feel bad if he did lag out, but let's be honest, guys. No one is going to go ahead and just stop tapping. They're going to go ahead and take you out regardless. If you're the one that lags out, they're going to go ahead and take you out. So it really is just, it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and take this match. But I honestly think they actually rage quit in this match, and I don't think they honestly lagged out because Mana Buzz was really good against the Jellicent, and they had that Cresselia in the back. But anyway, last and final match, we got a Shadow Gligar, and we're going to be able to take the wing attacks like a champ. So I am counting kind of like 4, 5, 6. I think they got to like 7 now wing attacks. And I know that they don't have Earthquake because they're not at their evolved stage. But I know they had access to Dig. I'm pretty sure this is the Dig. So I go ahead and take it though because it was debuffed, right? So I'm like, well, we don't have to really shield it. And now we're going to go ahead and use Breaking Swipe. And I was thinking we might get a shield here, but we actually didn't. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. At this point, I'm pretty sure they're at another Dig, and I don't want to lose Switch, right? Sometimes I kind of want to fight for it, and it ends up being a Quagsire. So we're looking good. We can go ahead and do a Breaking Swipe. And now it's almost kind of forces them to kind of swap out, right? I feel like, maybe we might need Steelix for later. And we bring out our Medicham. And this trainer does a horrible misplay. They use the Stone Edge, which we go ahead and actually we're able to take there. I've honestly should have probably thrown counter, but I'm trying to get Power Punch, should I say. But I'm just trying to get some Power Punches. We're going to go ahead and kind of throw. I want to do another Mud Shot, and I'm like thinking, I'm going to go ahead and, since they shielded that, let me go ahead and try to get it as low as possible to get it out with a Power Punch. And this is when I found out that Quagsire actually wins CP over Medicham. I'm like, bro, what is going on? Are you serious? So now I'm going to go ahead and throw this Power Punch, which they shield. I'm like, bro, what do they have that's so weak against it? They're going to go ahead and bring in the Pelipper, and I could have reached the Psychic, but I'm like, we might need Medi for later, so let's go ahead and catch this Weather Ball. We go ahead and catch it, and I was thinking maybe I should go for Dark Pulse, right? But Pelipper is really glassy, so I'm like, I want to get some damage onto it. But I think I should have gone Dark Pulse was the way to go. We're going to go ahead and Air Lace, and it brings it to the red. And they are going to go ahead and go for the big move. And it's going to be a Hurricane. But they're not going to be able to take us out. So they're going to go ahead and realize that. So they're going to have to throw right away. And this is when I'm just going to bring in Steelix. I'm pretty sure everything at this point is like Energy Drive for my opponent's end. They're going to go ahead and immediately swap out to the Quagsire. And as soon as I farm down their Quagsire, they know it's over. They go ahead and quit the match. And an easy 5-0 for you guys. Really, definitely, I strongly recommend you using this team. And if you do, let me know if you do in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.